Hello ladies and mentalgen of YouTube, this is Zohadark with my first ever vocal countdown. If you're watching this, I'd hope you've played some kind of video game before, and I don't know if you've noticed, but they usually don't come alone. Many of them are at least part of a series, if not part of a big successful franchise. So I thought to myself, why not start out with the big guns and tell the world what franchises are my favourites. It's kind of important to remember during this that I'm going to be talking about my favourites, not the best. If I were talking about the best, the list would be completely different. Also, these are my favourites, and they're not likely to correspond to yours, so don't be too put out if I don't mention something you like. There's also some pretty great stuff out there that isn't part of a franchise, so please don't judge my tastes entirely on this video. Finally, in case you're that guy who antagonizes at supposedly kiddie franchises, fair warning. If you didn't notice from most of the footage I've used, I favour Nintendo greatly, so yeah. Anyway, wow, that took a while. We haven't even started yet? Right, let's get on with it then. I'm not sure how well people will take this. Oh well. Number 10 is... The Legend of Zelda is something truly incredible. It's an absolutely massive series, and within it there's something anyone can like. It's made some classic games, and has been a driving force behind Nintendo and the video game industry. So why is it only number 10? Well, for the most part I feel The Legend of Zelda is a series I've sadly missed out on. I haven't played many games in the series, and I didn't grow up with them like so many others did. I experienced Ocarina of Time for the first time on the 3DS remake, and didn't really enjoy it that much. Yes, I know, I'm a horrible gamer. However, I still either enjoy the games I've played, or appreciate why Zelda fans like them, and the Zelda series has plenty to like about it. Wind Waker's expansive explorations, Ocarina of Time's epic heroics, Majora's Mask's brilliant story and concept, the list goes on, and its soundtrack is one of the best. So the series doesn't hold its low position from any fault of its own. I may have missed out on a great deal of Zelda games, but I still hold this series in high esteem. Even if Ocarina of Time wasn't my thing, and I thought Wind Waker was the best in the series. And I think it's time to make a speedy retreat into number 9 before I get buried alive under a bunch of hate comments. The Fire Emblem series is easily the best turn-based strategy series I've ever come across. Maybe I'm strategy-minded and enjoy planning my next move in battle, calculating all the variables, and ultimately controlling the fate of multiple great characters, or I could just be a lazy guy with terrible reflexes. But either way, I love turn-based strategy games a lot, and I mean a lot. The series is a really great strategy series because it literally forces you to think strategically, or you will fail. You can't just unload whatever characters you want and just take things as they come without a plan. You have to balance your team well, and choose the right units and weapons for the right situation, and you also need to think tactically in how your units grow, as each character gains experience independently. Speaking of which, the characters are a brilliant selling point for this series. The series possesses a variety of colourful personalities, and how they develop as characters is entirely up to you. You can choose to promote them to make them stronger, you can develop their character by making them interact with each other at support conversations, and in doing so you can gain access to alternative endings for your characters, giving every installment great replayability. And being the sentimental fool that I am, the game can quickly become a matchmaking service, particularly in Awakening, where your decisions can affect the structures of entire families, and if you screw up and let someone get defeated, you can never use them again. They just die. So their lives are in your hands in every sense of the expression. Which, if I'm honest, just makes for a more fun and immersive experience. But you'll usually try to keep everyone alive anyway. That kinda depends on how I feel about them.
Get a haircut, hippie!
When it comes to the Mario franchise, I'm just left dumbfounded. This franchise is enormous, and all this began from a fat plumber eating mushrooms, jumping on turtles, hitting monkeys with hammers, and saving the princess! With regard to how famous Mario is, I like to think of it this way.
I applied for the job of village idiot of Kensington.
Get anywhere?
I got down to the last two, but I failed the final interview.
Oh, what went wrong?
The other guy was such an idiot he didn't know who Mario was. I'm also having a hard time thinking of a video game genre they haven't tried for Mario. platforming, RPG, party, sports simulations to boot, puzzle, exploration, and even first-person shooting. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not. Behold Yoshi's Safari, a game where you ride around on the most adorable big-nosed dinosaur ever, and shoot everything in your path. But a franchise can't get on here just by being ridiculously famous and trying a lot of things. I have to actually like it for it to be a favourite, you know? But wouldn't you know it, I really like it. The RPGs are great, the sports simulations are pretty fun, the platformers were pretty good once upon a time, and spin-off games like Luigi's Mansion, Wario Land Shaker and Yoshi's Island are nothing to sneeze at. There are just so many games I like in this series that I had to pay tribute to it somehow. The only thing holding Mario back for me is the fact that experimental genres like the RPGs are the ones I actually like. While the platformers Mario is so famous for are formulaic to the point of being yawn-inducing and are rebooted so many times with increasingly more outlandish power-ups that they've completely lost my interest and a great deal of my respect. But anyway, don't take my word for it. Does the linear copy-paste sequel platformers make Mario any less great? Absolutely not. Now here's an entry that'll split a few hairs. I'm not sure whether to even call it a franchise, but since I haven't looked up the definition of franchise once while making this video, let's just go with it. The Elder Scrolls are some great games. First major selling point? The freedom they give you. Each game just throws you headfirst into their world full of dragons, magic, and those damn stuck-up high elves, and goes, okay, here you are, have fun. Every game has a vast and impressive overworld with just buckets to see and do. You can choose your race, gender, appearance, and what skills you want to develop. If you get bored of the main story of Daedric invasions, soul-eating dragons, and recycled Disney villains, you can sit on it at any time and join a whole lot of optional factions and indulge in a ridiculous amount of side quests. Or if you'd rather, you can just waste time exploring overworlds, dungeon busting, or just going nuts and killing random people if you've had a really hard day. Thanks to the freedom you have to determine your own abilities, there are so many ways to play any one part of the game. These games have a brilliant lore to them as well, creating a detailed history and geography for their world of Tamriel that remains constant throughout the entire franchise and giving fans like me plenty to get excited about when the games reference each other. The lore can make these games so immersive, particularly during Skyrim's Civil War and Oblivion Crisis. All in all, they have a lot of stuff I like. Freedom, good lore, immersion, exploration, and just mindless fun.
Cheese for everyone!
The main flaws I can find are just technical problems that are to be expected in such massive games. These games can just sweep the time away, and although you may run out of stuff to do eventually, it'll take a long, long time. For whatever reason, I don't hear Monster Hunter talked about very often. Maybe because people are more concerned with other Capcom installments, or they haven't heard of it, or perhaps there's just nothing really spectacular to talk about. But I personally find it a really enjoyable series. As its name would suggest, your goal is to hunt increasingly more powerful monsters, and reap the rewards you need to upgrade your weapons, armor, and home base. Simple, it's just so fun. For most of the game, you'll be choosing a monster you want to take down, finding it, and fighting it to the death with all your skills being tested against some very formidable enemies. And just doing this over and over again with increasingly more powerful monsters. And when you're not doing that, you're gathering the necessary parts you'll need to get better weapons, items, and armor, and using them to take down even more powerful monsters until you're fighting Elder Dragon Gods! But the series really excels in visual design as well. The monster designs in this game are for the most part incredible. Lava leviathans, giant spiky dragons, lightning wyvern wolves, ocean deities, and a living mountain with a shovel for a chin, just to name a few. And the weapon and armor designs are equally stunning. I mean, just look at some of these. Some of the more grand battle scenarios include hunting a giant sand whale in a sand ship in a sand ocean, and defending a fortress from a rampaging spiky red dinosaur thing. So the series has its fair share of awesome moments. The story is never anything special, but it takes a back seat for Monster Hunter's incredible gameplay. Because all you really need in these games is an excuse to go and kill stuff. Anyway, everything I've just said is almost completely insignificant in light of the fact that these games are fun. Really fun. Oh, and it also has these little cat people, and I love those little cat people so much. Hey you! Yeah you! What's up? Spinny here. Okay, so my boss did a pretty bad job of selling Monster Hunter to you, so I guess I'm gonna have to do it myself. If you have a 3DS or a Wii U, just buy Monster Hunter Free Ultimate. Trust me, it's worth it. 3DS, Wii U, doesn't matter, just buy it. Buy it, play it, love it forever. It's awesome. Oi, Spinny! What? Yeah boss? Hey, you see my laptop? Ah, damn it. Alright, gotta go.